Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our webinar, which is going to be very interesting. We're going to be dealing with why invest in UK. We're going to be dealing with the UK becoming a hub for tech companies. You know, what are the main advantages for Turkish companies, which will be very interesting for our delegates on the webinar based in Turkey. And also, we're going to hear from Mehmet and from Ali on what is the new system that's point-based for skilled workers going to UK, and also how to get a sponsorship certificate. I mean, lots of things have happened since Brexit, as you're all probably aware. There's no more anchor agreement, so that is being replaced by a number of other routes to UK, which as I just mentioned, will have different criteria. So today we're going to explore all those opportunities and get the expert advice from Ali and from Mehmet, who have a lot of experience in dealing with these issues, both before Brexit and now after Brexit. So I want to thank Dilruba, who's organised this through BCCT. I mean, BCCT is still here to help and advise on any concerns that you may have on your relationship with UK, whether it be to do with visas or any other subject that you are not clear about. So, I mean, please feel free to contact BCCT at any time, along with our colleagues in DIT in the consulate. We firmly believe that, having signed the FDA with Turkey in late December, that we now have a platform on which to build our trade relationship with Turkey and vice versa. And we still believe there's a lot of opportunity for growth for both companies in terms of exports and investment. So it's critical that we know just what the relationship from a technical perspective is going to be, and I'm going to leave it to the experts, Ali and Mehmet, to deliver their insights and knowledge on this particular subject. So I'll hand over to Mehmet from the Department of International Trade based in the consulate, and he will start with his presentation. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, Chris. Thanks again for the I would like to thank the BCCT team for organizing this joint webinar, actually, and thank you all for attending and let's say giving us your time again. I believe most of you know me already, but just to repeat as a brief information, a brief introduction about myself. My name is Mehmet Başaran. I am working for the Department for International Trade as a senior inward investment advisor for the last 7 years, and I assisted countless companies to expand in the United Kingdom through FDI for the last couple of years. So what I'm going to do is I will try to share my screen. I prepared a very basic presentation for you all. I hope everyone is seeing it now. So let me start with who we are, what Department for International Trade is. I'm not going to read all of those, so you can read it in a separate time, but just as a summarize, Department for International Trade is the official UK government body which supports foreign companies to invest in foreign companies to invest in the United Kingdom, and also the UK-based companies to export from the UK as well. We, as the Inward Investment team, we provide dedicated and professional support, tailored advisory services and assistance for every company, independent from scale, independent from sector, independent from their operation. We provide a tailored service for every company in order to realize their investment plans. So, as I said, we are a fully integrated advisory service. We provide latest business intelligence, market information, latest regulatory data, basic information about visas, taxes, etc., introductions with the, let's say, service providers, centers of excellence, etc., as well. So we try to cover almost every aspect of your plans during this investment process. And I would like to mention that what we are offering is 100% free of charge and 100% confidential. So moving on. So why you should be investing in the UK? I know that it's a very big subject, but what we can do is we can summarize this whole thing in the 6 main topics. So UK offers a very business-friendly environment. We offer a very competitive tax environment, tax ecosystem. We offer a very good R&D landscape. We have a very skilled workforce. I don't want to mention how strong the digital infrastructure is, the digital and technological infrastructure is in the UK, and you know the location in the end. So if we are going, let's say, going to expand these 6 subjects a little bit more. So UK is the world's 6th largest economy, and there are more than 65 million people living in the UK at the moment. According to the World Bank's ease of doing business rating, United Kingdom is listed as the 8th best location to do business in the world. And according to the statistics which were announced in 2020, UK is the number one destination for foreign direct investment in overall Europe. Oops. But this is all wording, so this is all speech. But in means of very practical information, UK tax, I would like to mention a little bit about UK tax offer. Currently, the corporate tax rate in the UK is 19%. And if you can see the graph on the slide, you can see that UK offers the lowest corporate tax rate in the whole G20 group. We have a very stable tax regime. We offer incredible amount of incentive schemes for investors, tax reliefs for venture capitals, and not to mention we offer I will be mentioning this in the next slide, but we offer a very competitive support for R&D, research and development operations. Okay, I told you that I will be mentioning about this. So UK is currently ranked as the 4th in the global innovation index. What we are doing is we are trying to turn ideas into commercial successes, and in order to do that, the government has announced actually a new strategy, so to speak, which is planning to increase the overall R&D expenditure to 2.4% to the overall GDP by 2027. So how we are going to do this? The UK government is currently providing money, access to world-class research infrastructure, and facilitating connections with centers of excellence to all businesses. So we have Innovate UK grants, innovation loans, R&D tax credit, patent bucks, knowledge transfer networks, knowledge transfer partnerships, and catapult centers, etc. Oops. Yep. So this slide should be mentioned in the text part, but I moved it here because it's more relevant. So as I said, there is a huge, let's say, R&D support there, and tax reliefs as well. So if you are going to do some R&D in the UK, so what you can do is you can claim some of your R&D expenditure from the government. So let's say that you are a large company, you're a very scaled company, and you are spending £100 for your R&D. This means that you can claim almost £10.5 back from the government in means of R&D tax credit. If you're an SME level company, and if you are not making any profit yet, if you are making loss at this stage, then this ratio goes up to 33%. But if you are making profit, then this ratio becomes 25%. So if you do some R&D in the UK, you can claim some percentage of your R&D expenditure from the government. And at the end of this R&D, in the end, you may end up with an intellectual property. Then what you can do is you can apply for a patent box. This means that you will pay a reduced rate of corporate tax, which is 10%, on all of the profits that you earn from your intellectual property. But I would like to mention this here. There is a very big mistake that some of our companies actually doing. So this, if you are applying for a patent box, this doesn't mean that your whole corporate tax will go down to 10%. Your profits from your intellectual property, which is registered under the patent box, will go down to 10%. The profits from your other activities will still be taxed as 19%. But this doesn't end here. In the end, we have an organization called Innovate UK, which is which is an official government body which works to realize the potential of the new technologies and develop ideas and turn them into commercial successes. So if you would like to develop a new product in the UK, if you would like to develop a new service, etc. So depending on your activity, depending on your focus area, you may get let's say you may get a funding between 25,000 to 10 million pounds. So our Innovate UK is a huge organization. It includes almost all of the, let's say, R&D bodies in the UK. And since 2007, Innovate UK has invested 2.5 billion pounds to the businesses in order to assist them to innovate and, let's say, develop new technologies. As you can see from this chart, there are some, let's say, small, let's say, focus areas, small categories there. But I would like to mention, for example, Industrial Study Challenge Fund, for example. Industrial Study Challenge Fund was developed after Brexit, actually, and it was, so to speak, it was literally determining the government's priority areas. So if you go to that, I can easily tell you there are 4 main areas right now which is supported by the Industrial Challenge Fund. One of them is, of course, the big data. The other one is aging society. The third one is clean growth, and the fourth one is smart mobility. For example, if you are working in those areas, it's one of those areas, you can easily apply for funding. Yeah. Okay, skilled workforce. I believe this actually, this subject comes very close to Ali's area, but I would like to mention it in a very, let's say, very brief bullet points. So UK's workforce is highly skilled. The reason of it is 4 of the top 10 universities in the world is actually based in the UK. So we have a very, let's say, we have very simple and flexible working labor laws, which makes it very easy to hire people, to manage them, to actually fire them as well. And also the UK is also developing, or let's say adapting its migration policy to attract the best of the best to the country as well from the overseas markets. But the UK's labor costs are also an effect as well, is very promising as well, is an attractive point as well. So you can see there's a chart here. So as you can see, what UK is offering in means of labor cost is the lowest in most of, let's say, most of our competitive countries. That this graph is mainly made of made for the manufacturing sector, but you need to be notified about 2 things. First, there are 2 different wages in the whole UK. One of them is the national minimum wage, and the other one is the national living wage. Oops, sorry, some warning, yeah. So national living wage is what we call asgari ücret in Turkey. So it's actually the minimum wage that you need to pay to your employees, which are over 23. But if your employees are aged under 23 and or they may be apprentices, etc., then what you need to pay is the national minimum wage. You can see the differentiation between national living wage and national minimum wage as well in this slide. Okay, the strong digital and physical infrastructure. I believe all of us knows how strong the IT sector in the UK is. Why UK is attracting too many technology companies in means of FDI and also in means of, let's say, European headquarters and global headquarters is it's offering one of the strongest ICT infrastructures in the world. So we have, let's say, the government has announced 22 super connected cities across the UK, which offers extra fast and extra reliable, let's say, broadband and wireless connectivity. The UK is ranked ahead of the major European economies in means of ranked network readiness index as well. As we are coming to an end, there are some slides as well, by the way, but I would like to mention about the location itself. In the end, UK is made of 4 different regions, 4 different countries. So it's England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. And each capital offers a different, let's say, environment, a unique environment for each businesses. You can see that, you can see very brief information about those, let's say, capitals. London is a vibrant city. It attracts incredible amount of companies from all sectors. It's the hotbed of fintech. It's a hotbed of technology. So it's a branding issue. Cardiff, the capital of Wales, it has a very strong biosciences cluster, which is directly linked with the universities as well. And it has really developed its technology, IT, and let's say financial services offer as well. Edinburgh is the financial center as well for the UK too. So we saw that some of the major banks actually moved their headquarters to Edinburgh recently, and we saw that a lot of, let's say, again, biotechnology companies such as stem cell research companies, regenerative medicine companies, genetics companies are moving to the Edinburgh as well. And Belfast, the capital city of Northern Ireland, I believe I can easily tell you that if you are working in the cybersecurity area, then this means that you should be based in Belfast. Oops, cannot move in. Yeah. Okay, so what the IT does, I didn't include any, let's say, slides about the Brexit FTA as well, because I would like to leave this to the discussion area, question and answers area, so it can be, let's say, very efficient as well. But if you would like to learn more about those, please feel free to contact us. But I would like to mention what the IT offers, so to speak, to the companies which are actually planning to invest in the UK. So in this slide, you can see some of the basic information that is required from us. What you can ask from us is, you can ask for a market research. You can ask for, let's say, basic information about setting up in the UK, opening up a bank account, visas, taxes, etc., employment processes, how to access the finance in the UK, and also you can ask us for location analysis. For example, you can ask directly which city is the best for your operations, or which country is the best for your operations as well. As I said, all of those information packages are totally free, totally confidential, and we will be very happy to help you in your plans. So that's all for me. I would like to, let's say, I try to rush a little bit because some of you know that how I love actual talking. So I would like to give floor to Ali, our good friend Ali. I believe Ali, you are going to introduce yourself, right? So I'm logging off now. Yeah, done.
Just before Ali starts, if I could just interject just 1 minute. I mean, we're getting some questions on the chat line. So, you know, they will be passed to both Ali and Mehmet, and, you know, we will be answering them as we go through. But if we could just be patient and wait until the presentations are finished, and then we'll get into the Q&A. Thank you.
Ali Bey, you are muted now.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Good, perfect. Thank you. I would like to thank you, first of all, BCCT, specifically from BCCT Chris and Dudurba for organizing this event. And of course, for DIT, Mehmet is for participation and providing us such a valuable information. And today I'm going to talk about doing business in the post-Brexit UK. On the part of it, specifically, I'm going to talk about point-based immigration system, which is quite new, as you know. I am a dual qualified lawyer, qualified in England and Wales and Turkey, and currently running my own practice in Istanbul and London, and then dealing mainly people and entrepreneur and companies doing business in the UK, helping them with the questions on the company corporate side, immigration side, and the general commercial legal side. This is what we do currently. So you can reach us anytime from our Istanbul office or from London office by email or by phone number. We are also proud to be a member of BCCT, of course. Let's start with the introduction. As you know, the UK left the European Union on the 31st of January 2020. And then there will be a number of changes, including in immigration. And this new immigration system, anyone who wants to come to the UK for work, of course, excluding Irish citizens, need to get permission in advance. That means European citizens as well needs to get a visa to stay in the UK. I mean, this work or live in the UK. So that means a whole system of immigration systems change. In addition to that, employers who need a sponsor license to hire the people outside the UK. Under the point-based immigration system, anyone coming to the UK must meet the specific set of requirements for which they will score points. And the visa are awarded those gain enough points, which is I will go through the point system and how you're going to get the points in further details in this presentation. Before going through that, I'm going to have a look at the types of routes which is available for the people come to work in the UK. The the most known one and look like the most useful one is going to be the skilled worker route. That I will go through the details shortly. We also have global talent routes, startup and innovator routes, and these global talent and the startup routes, and they have launched before the Brexit. And we also have now student route, which is available for students who graduated from UK universities. We also have intra-company transfer routes. These are also applicable for sponsor employees. You also have sporting routes, youth mobility schemes routes, and creative routes, which are available at the moment. We also have also, it's not here as well, a company representative visa is also available if you want to send your representative to work in the UK and represent your company specifically. Let's start with the skilled worker route. Anyone coming to the UK for work, including EU students, as I mentioned, need to demonstrate and meet specific set of requirements to meet the score points. First of all, they need to meet mandatory requirements. The mandatory requirements is to have a job offer from the licensed sponsor. This is the first mandatory requirement. The second mandatory requirements to have a job offer is at the required skill level. That needs to be checked. Also, of course, English language requirements is also another requirement they must meet. In addition to these mandatory requirements, which we'll go into the details soon, the job offer must meet the applicable minimum salary threshold, which must be higher than general salary threshold of 25,600 or specific salary requirements for their occupation known as the going rate. All applicants will be able to trade characteristics such as their qualification against the lower salary to get required number of points. If the job offer is less than minimum salary requirements, but not less than 20,480, this is, by the way, annual salary, and applicants may still be eligible if they have a job offer in a specific shortage occupation, a PhD relevant to the job, a PhD in a STEM subject relevant to the job. STEM means is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And there are different salary rules also for workers, which I will show in here in a table that you can see more clearly. So we need to reach the first 3 mandatory requirements to get 50 points first, which is offer a job from the approved sponsor, and the appropriate skill level, and the English requirements level. We need a 50 point first, but we still need 20 points to reach the 7 points to get the visa. So how are we going to get this extra 20 points after getting mandatory 50 points, which we call it tradable points? So I'm trying to illustrate that with some scenarios in the next slides. So with tradable points, meeting the mandatory criteria points, as I mentioned, you can reach this 20 extra tradable points through a combination of points for their salary or in a job in a shortage occupation or relevant PhD. If the applicant is paid the higher of the general salary threshold of 25,600 or the going rate for their particular job, they will get an extra 20 points. So there is a scope to earn required extra tradable points if the applicant is paid less than the general threshold or the going rate, provided that they are at least 20,480. So that being the case, the applicant may earn points if they have a job offer in a specific shortage occupation. This is, by the way, recommended by Migration Advisory Committee. So Migration Advisory Committee will announce that which type of occupation is the shortage list, and we can get that this tradable point from that shortage occupation, or a PhD qualification relevant to the job. There are also different minimum salary rules for workers in certain health and education jobs as well. So what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to illustrate this in a scenarios and try to explain how it works. I know it's a little bit complicated, but so we need to have 70 points to get the skilled workers visa. So for example, Freya wants to come to the UK to undertake a skilled work and has been offered a job as a lab technician for a salary of £20,000. So she meets all the mandatory criteria, including, you know, the English language requirements, and also the job offer, etc. So under the point-based system, so she's scoring 50 points. So the going rate for the lab technician is 18,200. So we need to check that from the specific the website from the government, and then Freya's salaries, which is more than this. Now she doesn't score 20 points, means. So because it's below the general threshold of 25,600. However, where can we get this extra 20 points? This is important for Freya. If Freya has got 20 extra, as we know, Freya has got a PhD in STEM PhD in biochemistry, so we can get 20 extra points from her PhD diploma, so we can get 70 points and we can get the visa for Freya easily. In another scenario, we have Richard, who wants to come to the UK for work and has offered the job as a mechanical engineer for a salary of 26,750, 26,750. So he meets all the mandatory criteria under the points-based system and then score 50 points. So the Richard's salary is higher than, as you see, 25,600 general threshold. However, it is below the 33,400 going rate for mechanical engineers, so he doesn't score 20 points for his salary. So Richard's salary is just about 80% of the going rate for his occupation. Therefore, while he scores no points from his salary, but he's eligible to score 20 tradable points as well to be eligible for a visa. So we check that Richard scores another extra points having a job offer in a shortage occupation. So that each time we need to check what type of occupation you are going to be offered, what type of, each time, each scenario, we need to make the assessment to find out whether you're going to eligible to get 70 points or not. And lastly, Ali wants to come to the UK to work and has been offered the job as a qualified primary school teacher in Wales for a salary of 24,906. So he meets all the mandatory criteria, as you will see under the point-based system. I have a lot of questions, by the way, that lots of people are asking me, can we go to the UK without having a sponsor at the moment? With the skilled worker visa, no, you must have a sponsor first, and then you need to, because this is a mandatory, but maybe they are planning to open it. I'm not sure about it, but Canada has got similar system, but they have another route which is available without having a sponsor. The UK may have a similar route in the future. We don't know yet. Let's go back to the Ali's scenario. Ali must score another 20 points. So where are we going to get these 20 points? We will get this another point as Ali is a primary school teacher, are listed education job, and Ali salaries meets the national pay scale in Wales. So he will get another 20 points and then he can eligible to get visa. We have another scenario, but again, it's a similar requirements, etc., etc. This is a graduate route. Every graduated from the UK university and get reach the 70 point by having a good salary. So how about this going rate things? Where are we going to get this? These rates are earning in the UK driven from the annual survey of hours and earnings, and the rates is updated annually. The Office of National Statistics, normally at the end of October, and these rates do not absolve the sponsor for their obligation under the national minimum wage, of course. As you know, skilled workers also mentioned entitled to have the minimum national wage as other workers in the UK. So this is about the skilled workers. If you have other questions, I'll try to answer it at the end of the presentation. So it's quite detailed and needs to be assessed for each applicant for when we are looking at this skilled worker visa. So then I'm going to talk about global talent routes, which also, as I mentioned, launched before Brexit under the exceptional talent visa route, now is changed to global talent routes. And as you know, the United Kingdom wants to attract the very best and brightest talents from around the world. And you can apply to global talent visa to work in the UK if you're a leader or a potential leader in the following fields: academia or research, arts and culture, digital technology. The top scientists and researchers are able to benefit from a quicker endorsement process as part of the fast-track scheme, by the way. The government has announced it will set up across the departmental units called the Office for Talent. This will make it easier for leading global scientists, researchers and innovators to come to and live and work in the UK. So how are we going to get the endorsement for these applicants, global talent applicants? So we have now a leader or your potential leaders. So who's going to assess this? So the government, the Home Office, there are recognized UK bodies, and they said these is happening. There will be a two-stage of application. The first stage, we will get the endorsement from the endorsement bodies, and then we will make the application for the visa. The first one, and we have, it depends on your expertise, so we will apply to different endorsement bodies. We have the Royal Society for Science and Medicine. We have Royal Academy of Engineering for engineering, of course, and, and British Academy for Humanities, and UK Research and Innovation for Science and Research, and Tech Nation, of course, for the digital technology. For arts and culture, we apply for Arts Council England. Once you endorse, subject to criminality and the immigration checks, migrants are giving a highly flexible permission enabling them to work for employers or self-employed, change jobs without informing the Home Office, travel abroad and return to UK for research purposes and bring dependents with them. So your dependents also eligible for them as well. So there is no limits. I mean, the government didn't put any limits for number of eligible individuals who can use these routes. I'm trying to illustrate it in this table. So what are the conditions and requirements? As I said, first, there is no English language requirements, but of course, how are we going to become a global talent having none having English language? That will be, it's very difficult. There will be an application fee, of course, and immigration skills charge. No, there will be immigration health and searches fee, and biometrics will be taking here, and there will be no maintenance. No access to public funds, and you can do different work, which is flexible. There will be endorsement fee, of course, on the application, and flexible for grant periods up to 5 years for potential leaders for 5 years, and you can get indefinite leave to remain after 5 years. But if you are a leader in the expertise, in your field, then you will get indefinite leave to remain after 3 years. We have another route. So because each applicant, again, I just want to emphasize here about the process for global talents. For each applicant, we need to make the assessment. For each applicant, there are a number of requirements, and we need to look at in details how the applicants' skills and an applicants, because we have a lot of inquiries in the global talent one. You need to be recognized worldwide, and you need to have a number of awards so to eligible to apply the global talent visa. So we need to make some sort of assessment if you are planning to make an application. What we do basically in terms of for the visa process, we provide some sort of 45 minutes, 1 hour assessment before we agree on making an application, whether global talent, whether is a skilled worker visa, whether startup or innovator visa, because each applicant needs to be assessed as again individually to find out which of these visas are eligible for them and best for them. And by finishing the global talent, I'm going to talk about this startup and innovator visa. This also started before Brexit. Now is available for EU citizens too, for both EU and non-EU citizens. So for startup visa and innovative, you need to have an innovative business idea and industry experience, and also it is better to have 50K funding, and individuals require support from endorsing body. Again, before applying, there are different endorsing body here, comparing to, of course, global talent visa, and we need to get endorsement again before making an application for the visa. The endorsement is must. And these endorsing bodies, what they do basically, they are assessing your business idea, whether it is innovative, viable, and scalable. So it's to be assessed first before you make an application. And these routes are not kept, and the UK government has been actively promoting the route to attract talented entrepreneurs. So you need to have not all the entrepreneurs, as you will see, because like Ankara Agreement route, you can just make the application if you are planning to have a business, and you can just basically make the application. But in this route, you need to have a business idea which must be innovative and viable and scalable, and you need to prove it in order to get a startup or innovator visa. The applicants can be individuals or teams. Each applicant for startup innovator must have the support of an approved endorsing body, we already mentioned. Endorsing bodies is different, maybe higher education providers, because when you finish the UK university, you can make an application for a startup visa or innovator visa, or you can apply from Turkey if you have a good, or any other country, if you have a good business idea, innovative business idea, which is scalable, and you can make this application. As I mentioned, that your business idea must be new idea, innovative, and viable. Let's have a look at this table. Again, we need to have English language requirements. We need one of the requirements. Application, there will be an application fee, immigration skills charge. We need to pay immigration health and searches. That will be a biometrics and maintenance. It is possible to switch this visa routes. In terms of startup visa, there is no settlement, which is very important here. There's no, I mean, you can only get 2 years visa, and you can switch the innovator visa, but the settlement is not available on the startup visa. But however, in the innovator visa, you can make an application for settlement, means indefinite leave to remain after 5 years living in the UK. Another route is the student route. Students will require to have 7 points to be granted to leave. Points are non-tradable and will be awarded for meeting requirements for the route as set out in this table. The financial requirements 10%, English language requirements 10%, and confirmation acceptance for studies requirements from the course or approved qualification requirements, etc. A graduate route, which is quite new, is going to launch in summer 2021 to provide international students the opportunity to stay in the UK to work or look for work after they graduate. Undergraduate, master's degree students will be able to stay for 2 years, and the PhD students are able to stay for 3 years. This is quite new route, and the graduates will be able to switch into other routes in line with the wider approach to switching when applying to live inside the UK. Will be an unsponsored route, so you don't need a sponsor in this route, and the route will also be point-based, with full number of points being awarded for the successful completion and of a degree from a UK higher education provider with a track record of compliance. You will see this here, the table, the scores that then you will get to requirements and the conditions. Okay, continue with the graduate route. I know it's very technical things that we are going through, but these are the requirements. I have another 8 more slides, and I will try to answer your question when I finish my presentation. And graduate route will open to international students, as we already mentioned, while it's leave as a tier 4 general students, as a student at the time of application, and who have successfully completed a degree or at undergraduate level above at higher education. We mentioned that application must have completed entirely of their degree in the UK, except for permitted study abroad programs when distance learning has been necessary due to COVID-19. So these if you are a student at the moment and because of the COVID-19, you are in Turkey due to COVID-19 restrictions, so you can still apply, you still have a right to apply under this route. So this route will not have a maintenance requirements, and applicants will not need to demonstrate English language ability, and they have already proved English language ability by successfully completing a degree at a UK university, of course. Of course, not to have public funds. This was available before Brexit anyway. There's an inter-company transfer that we mentioned. If you have already established a company in the UK, whether it's a subsidiary or a branch, you can have, but you need to get, of course, sponsorship certificate in the UK, and you can get your existing worker from, for example, in Turkey or in another country, such as Poland, or wherever your other main company, the holding company based, then you can bring your workers to UK under these schemes or under the graduate trainees schemes. There are language requirements, of course, English language requirements. It's also allowed to switch the skills worker route. Also, what we need to know, the minimum salary threshold, we need to meet that criteria as well. So there will be a plan, and you need to apply for sponsorship certificate, of course. You will see the conditions and the restrictions and requirements here for intercompany transfer. You can apply subject to sponsorship requirements being met, existing skilled employees of the standing business where they are being transferred to UK branch and subsidiary of that business. There will be some additional requirements that have been employed by standing business for at least 12 months prior to the date of transfer, and meet the minimum salary requirement, currently 41,500, and meet the cooling off requirements and employment restricted role specified on certificate of sponsorship, and entry for 12 months for graduate trainee and 5 years for company transfer. We also have youth mobility schemes. Go through this, skip this, and we also have sporting routes. The current system for sports provider for both temporary and long-term arrangements for professional sports people participating in sport in the UK. Again, the sports governing bodies will continue to issue and operate an endorsement process for applicants. And in line with the current arrangements for sports people seeking to come to the UK on a temporary basis at 12 months or less, not subject to English language requirements and maintaining alignment skilled worker routes, according to calculation of the time periods of any routes or settlements under this rule would only begin once the migrant has demonstrated requisite English language requirements. Who can apply? Internationally recognized sports people of all national. They must have a confirmed job offer, endorsement from the relevant SGB, and their employment must be sponsored by a UK employer who is licensed by the Home Office. I will go through this, and lastly, sporting bodies. If you have sporting routes, I mean, if you have specific questions about this, you can always reach me. And we also have creative routes, lastly, that I will go through. The artists and entertainers also, and the musicians contribute to the UK's rich cultural life. They can apply to this route for short-term contract arrangement for up to 12 months. And applicants in the creative industry will also have the option to come to the UK as visitor. The existing rules for visitor allow artists, entertainers, and musicians to perform in the UK, by the way, including being paid for their participation in certain events. Who can apply? Individuals for all nationals who have confirmed the job offer, whose employment will be sponsored by UK employer, and whose Home Office license and must be licensed by the Home Office, of course, working occupation in the creative industry. And applicants under the supplementary work at the same level as primary employment, the current creative and sporting constitution allowing creative workers who are on non-visa nationals, of course, the national minimum wage requirements also apply here. So I finished my presentation, but I want to say something about also company representative visa. You can also send, which wasn't included in my presentation, company representative visa, which is available if you want to set up your representative office in the UK. You can only send one representative with his or her family, all the dependents, which is, these people, you can get settlement after 5 years living in the UK. You must meet the certain level salary requirements. The company from the home country must pay the salary of the person who will be the representative in the UK. So this is also the skill. If you have a further detailed question, I'll try to answer it. Of course, you must meet the English language requirements, and you must not have a subsidiary or branches launched before you're making an application under this visa scheme. I have finished my presentation, and I try to answer the question if you have. I think there are some questions, and I'll try to answer it. I'm sorry, a little bit. I will try to be quick as possible, because a number of things that I'm trying to go through.
Thank you, Ali. Obviously, it is a very technical area, and a lot of information to take in there. And we'll be happy to follow up on any more detailed answers that you may require. But we'll do our best, or Mehmet and Ali will do their best to answer the questions that we've got in the Q&A box and the chat box. So I mean, going through the Q&A, I mean, we've got a number of questions that well, we've got a lot of questions. So I don't know, whether you've Ali, Mehmet, had a chance to see them. I'm not sure who would answer which, but
shall we start from the first question? I can see the Ayşegül Bogrun question, and she's asking, For the new skilled worker visa, do the sponsor have quotas for the number of certificates they can issue? So number of foreign workers in specific period of time. Thank you. I mean, each employer, you need to get a certificate for for the employees, you need to get a license, and for each applicant, for each employee, you need to get a certificate that needs to be issued for that specific person. I don't know, is that the answer to your question?
Ali, maybe they would like to learn more about if there is a capacity on the.
Of course, I mean, you need to say about what you are doing, why you are getting your sponsor license. You need to prove that you need, but there is no requirements for like advertising in Europe and so on, because it used to be, as you know, there will be an advertisement requirement that you need to advertise whole Europe to whether to find out there will be a the similar skilled persons available in Europe, so which is not required at the moment. But at the you need to prove that you still need some employees and what skills and what type of work you do. But I think the most importantly, in order to get the sponsor license, and each company, there are different requirements for each company, as you know, because there are different types of sponsorship license. Which one is that you are going to apply, and what type of company you are. You must be an established company in the UK. You need to have, you must show that you have VAT registered. You must show that you have valid contracts. You must show that you're already operating and you need employees in order to get a sponsor license. Otherwise, it will be difficult to get a sponsor license anyway. I mean, your application may be refused, and you need to have a system, management system in place in order to get a sponsor license. Is that the answer to your question? Hopefully. Mehmet, you want to add something?
No, actually, it's your field of expertise. I'm very silent on that subject. You know that. I believe the second question, I can answer the second question.
Yeah,
do
please
and can. Sorry, Chris, go on.
Please do.
Okay, so do and can Turkish companies receive and respond to tenders, either B2B or B2C tenders? I believe this is related with the Innovate UK tenders we are talking about. So if a Turkish company, Turkey-based company would like to apply for a UK-based, let's say, tender, or let's say Innovate UK loan, etc., the answer will be no. So the companies need to have a UK presence in order to benefit from the R&D support mechanisms in the UK. Actually, in all of the support mechanisms in the UK. It's a very, very basic information.
Thanks, mate. Just to answer the 2 or 3 questions there on the slide presentations, they are available. They will be available on our website. So, I mean, please drop us a note, and we can provide you with the presentations of both Mehmet and Ali. Moving down there, Ross Kelly, for R&D in the UK with Turkish input, who owns the IP?
So again, I believe I will be responding to this one. So Ross was you asked the same question. You were the owner of the previous question as well, so I thought that it's right. It's right with Innovate UK. So if you do an R&D in the UK, then if you would like to get benefit from the patent box initiative, then this patent needs to be owned by the UK company so that its corporate tax rate will be reduced to 10%. Otherwise, if the IP is owned by the Turkish company, for example, so there will be no profit generated from that IP by the UK company. It's a, let's say, it's a distribution agreement, nothing more. I believe that answers your question. If not, I would be glad to discuss this in a later stage. Please send me an email about this.
Okay, if we move down, a question there from Chenmei regarding, I think, working for a UK company in Turkey and subject to Brexit conditions under the payroll, would he be able to apply for a residence permit in UK?
No, because you need to work in the UK, and you need to have a sponsor, and you need to work in the UK. Otherwise, you can't get residence permit. Yeah.
I believe this really looks like, say, India and Cembe is working for, let's say, is the manager of a liaison office in Turkey or etc., something like that. So it really doesn't fall into, let's say, any category, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he goes on to talk about a student completing a BA and MA, UK university, to have a 2-year work permit. Does it have a specific time limit for this? And can a student have a 1-year top-up?
Well, you need to finish the degree or master's degree or PhD in the UK, and then you can apply. I mean, if this master's degree is 1 year, is most of the master degrees in 1 year, and after 1 year master's degree, you can apply for graduate route, and you can get 2 years work visa.
Okay. Have we answered the next question? How can an employee get a qualified or qualified for sponsor license? I think you've already covered that one. Yeah. Okay. I receive this question a lot. If I get the representative of an overseas business visa, I will need to apply for an extension after 3 years, and after 5 years, I can apply for it. Yeah. Have we covered that one? Or
I think I already answered this question too.
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that one. Sorry.
Does my children need to stay in the UK for 6+ months for each? Yes. Yeah. I mean, I didn't answer this one. I mean, yes, for the dependents also eligible with the applicant to stay up to 5 years. And after 5 years, you can apply for ILR under the scheme. I mean, representative visa scheme. And yes, I mean, your dependents, if you want to get ILR, I mean, indefinite leave to remain, you need to live in the UK and you need to prove that you've been living in the UK. I mean, otherwise you cannot get ILR. I've got these questions a number of occasions, and I try to answer this question all the time. You must spend time in the UK, otherwise you cannot get ILR.
There was a communication problem on my side. I didn't get that. So the applicant, okay, I totally get it. The applicant needs to stay in the UK, the main applicant. That's for sure.
Dependents too.
Dependents too. Okay.
Because look, you will get ILR. After ILR, you will be eligible to apply for British citizenship after 1 year. And I mean, for residency is the most important requirements for making an application for British citizenship. So you need to reside in the UK to become eligible for ILR and then British citizenship. This is must.
Okay, thank you. We have a few more. I mean, I can just add my own personal experience to this, in that my stepson Ali, who was educated in UK at UCL and graduated with his masters there, continued to stay there and under the Anchor Agreement, and satisfied all the Anchor Agreement criteria. He stayed in UK for the full 5-year period. He's been there now for 12 years, but he then applied for indefinite leave, which was granted after going through the various checks and balances. Then he applied for nationality, which again, he went through that process and was given nationality. And when was it? I think 6 months ago, he got his British passport. So it can be done. But as Ali has specified, that you do have to spend this amount of time in the UK and show that you are self-sufficient and actually committed to having a long-term presence in UK. So moving on, the point there, what do you mean there is no access to public funds in startup or innovation visas? If we set up a company, are we eligible to apply for government funding such as Innovate UK?
I'm a British citizen, but I moved to Turkey in 2000.
The one before it. Yes, I mean.
Can daughter? Okay, understand. But daughter is in Turkey. I
No,
understand.
Ali, sorry, we are still on Yasmin's question.
Sorry.
What do you mean by the public funds issue?
Oh, sorry about that. I missed that question. Apologize. No, the answer is you are not eligible for public funds, even for startup or innovator visa. The public funds is not available. I mean, what do you mean public funds? I mean, for such grants, if she's talking about, maybe your expertise on this one. I mean, I mean, if you're talking about public funds, like in terms of grants and so etc., yes, they may get some sort of public grants. I mean, for their businesses, not for like social, some sort of, you know,
housing support, for example.
Exactly. So these are not available.
So there's a distinction between the company and the person in terms of innovator or startup fund.
Yes, I mean, yeah, like housing support. If you have an innovative business and if you want
they
to
can apply for Innovate UK loans, grants, etc., but they cannot apply for, let's say, entrepreneurship support by the British Business Bank, for example.
Exactly. That kind of support is available. Even for the anchor agreement applicants, we know that they have applied schemes and support from the UK government after COVID-19, you know, outbreak, because the businesses they had a very difficult times, and then the government, British government, supported the businesses during this difficult time, and they were also eligible. I mean, anchor agreement visa holders also eligible to apply for most of the public funds. But in this sense, as a business, yes, they can apply for example, some local authorities, councils, they provide some sort of support and the funds which are available for entrepreneur innovative businesses, and I think they can, yes.
Okay, we move to that next one then, Ali, that you were commenting on, and British moved to Turkey in 2003. Asking whether, you know, paying taxes in Turkey while working in the UK, can my daughter be eligible for UK student fee at university?
I guess she's also a British citizen as well. I mean, the daughter. And in terms of, in order to get eligible to home student fee, you need to live in the UK for 3 years to get home student fee. Even you are a British citizen, you must live in the UK in order to get eligible for home student fee, as far as I know. But you can check with the university, because each university, they may have different criteria. So you can contact with the university and check with it. But in my, as far as I know, it's the daughter, if she's a British citizen, in order to get home student fee, she needs to live in the UK prior to making this application.
Okay, moving on there, we've got one from Ishil. I think this would go to Mehmet. Relating to Rep Office visa, can you please provide a little more detail? Well, if we take that offline, you know, and you drop a note to us, unless you want to add to that.
I believe Ali and I can answer this question in the offline side.
Okay, fine. And then what kind of companies could receive sponsorship to issue, where are we, costs for the workers. I'm not sure what that means, but
sponsorship certificate, I guess. Certificate of sponsorship.
So we've dealt with that one, I think.
Yeah.
And can dependents of a rep office visa holder work in UK?
Yes.
Yes, the answer to that. Thank you. Universities do help students with kids and give them extra grants, but the mother or father needs to be a British citizen. Not sure about that. I can answer that one.
Yes, please. You know better than us. you have a son.
No, we had to pay international fees.
Yeah, you see,
for Ali at university. So yeah, there was no facility to because I'm British, for him to benefit from having UK fees. So yeah, sorry about that. Okay, we've got a couple here. We've answered that one. Can I see the youth scheme once again? Yeah, I think in the presentation, I think we've covered that. So if you get a copy of the presentation, you can probably see it. Then we have another. What kind of companies could receive the sponsor? Well, we've done that one. The question was, can one licensed sponsor issue more than one certificate? Is there a cap, like 5 certificates a year? Any answer to that one?
I believe there used to be one once, right?
No, there is no any restrictions, and depends on your requirements, Ayşegül Hanım. There is no any cap at the moment, as far as I know, because it depends on what I mean. You issue for each applicant, and you will see. You need to prove it why you need it. These people, as far as you prove it, I think shouldn't be a problem. There's no such cap.
Yeah. Okay. I think we've answered all the other ones. Apart from the last one, which I tried to answer. What's the route for citizenship for a Turkish student studying in university in UK? How long to work after graduation? Well, I think that comes into the new system now, that students can stay on, as I understand it. But I'll let Ali and Mehmet sort of give their answers to that.
So, I mean, for the students, they can work for undergraduate students and master students. They can work after graduation. They can work 2 years, and for PhD students for 3 years. But they can switch to skilled worker visa. But in any case, they need to work there for 5 years. But I think the question here, whether if you are under the graduate route, working for 2 years, whether you can calculate it towards the 5 years or not, I don't remember that answer. I think the answer probably no, because you need to complete, because when you are switching from 2 years graduate route to skilled worker route, you need to start from these 5 years, you need to start from the beginning. I don't know if I answer your question. And then after 5 years, working under the skilled worker visa, you can apply for ILR, indefinite leave to remain. And with that indefinite leave to remain, after 1 year, you can, and of course, you need to have a sufficient funds, and you need to pass skilled, there are a number of exams and language requirements, British skills requirements as well. And then you can apply for citizenship. Of course, you must have a good character, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, from my recollection, under the Anchor Agreement anyway, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you couldn't count the years of education.
Yes.
For your 5 years, so it had to be a clear 5 years of working. And I mean, there's the other area. I think you've discussed about sponsorship by a company. I think we've dealt with that. If a company sponsors you, I mean, that's still in place, Mehmet, as I understand it.
Not my expertise area, so I'm leaving it.
Yes, it is the same. I mean, for if you want to do the calculate, if you're a student and if you have a skilled worker visa after that, the student visa time is not counted towards the ILR application for the 5 years when you're making calculation.
Ali, what about the 10-year process?
This is different. It could be calculated for the 10 years, after 10 years staying in the UK. This is separate routes in terms of ILR application.
Okay. Well, I think let me just go down. Since Anchor Agreement was abolished, where can I find a list of new agreements between TR and UK that replace this? Well, again, we can take that offline. I'm sure Mehmet or Ali will be happy to provide you with, the details of what the new arrangements are. So, I mean, please drop us a line to BCCT, and we'll.
Chris, maybe I can give a very quick answer to that. There is no agreement between Turkey and the UK that replacing the Ankara Agreement, because Ankara Agreement is not an agreement between the United Kingdom and Turkey. Ankara Agreement is the agreement of Turkey, Republic of Turkey's accession to the European Union. As part of the European Union, UK abide by this agreement, and with the Brexit, UK actually freed of it, so to speak. So there is no replacement for the Ankara Agreement itself.
Yeah, I agree with Mehmet. There is no replacement, but there is a free trade agreement, of course, but it's not. This is a kind of an agreement for specifically designed to prevent such complication after Brexit, specifically for import and export.
To continue the international trade in bilateral ways.
Exactly. It's not about Ankara Agreement at all.
Okay, well, thank you. That's clear. And I mean, there was a lot of misunderstanding about the Ankara Agreement. I think people assumed it was, a unique agreement between UK and Turkey, which it wasn't. It was an EU agreement. So, as Mehmet and Ali have explained, we've now left the EU, so it's no longer valid. So there we go. Okay, well, I think we've covered everything there. I can't see any more. Anything else you would like to add, Ali, Mehmet?
I would like to thank you for all the participants and the questions as well, and the Chris and the Dilruba and Mehmet for your participation. It was great to meet you here, at least, and hope to see you in our event soon. Fingers crossed.
I need one question. I see a badge, name badge at the back on your bookshelf.
Oh, yes. I just.
Is it the thing that is it name badge that I'm thinking of?
Yeah. It's from the UK Technology Investment Conference.
Who organized this?
I just keep it here. I don't know, somehow.
Yeah, I just saw it.
In 2019, by the way.
Yeah.
While we were doing the events physically.
Yeah, the good old days.
Good old days.
Well, just on that, and Mehmet was deeply involved in all those events, and the spectacular one that was held in the beginning of this year in February, which was virtual. I mean, we were overwhelmed with the number of people that signed up for that. I mean, it went beyond the bandwidth that the technology could handle. Were there 7,000 people? Is that a number that sticks in my mind, or was it 1,700?
No, it was according to the official statistics. There were 4,500 people attended the event.
Okay, so
this 2019
For
event?
the 2019 one, there were around 1,000 and something people attended.
yeah. So that's gone from strength to strength, and it just shows how UK and Turkey are attracting very high profile attendances from the tech sector, and that was a remarkable event, which will continue to happen, and it'll go from strength to strength as long as we got met there. We're in safe hands.
In the end, what we are doing is a team effort, Chris. You know that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to thank both our speakers there for the excellent answers and presentations that they delivered. I'm sure you'll have a clearer picture now, but as we've mentioned, as we've gone through the presentations, if there's any further information you require, please contact us at BCCT through Dilruba, and we'll make sure that you do get a response. So thank you again. Please stay safe, take care, and we want to see you again as soon as we have our next event. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care of yourself.